Hello friends, how are you? I hope you all are doing good. So let's continue with our discussion on budgetary control that we have already been doing. And I hope you are finding it pretty easy. It's one of the easiest chapters, I will say. Budgetary control, one of the easiest chapters, but yes, in the examination, you can definitely get a question from budgetary control, right? Okay, so before we start, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you get all the notifications, and hit the like button on the videos, because that is a kind of motivation for us that yes, you people are actually getting benefited from these videos. And most importantly, share with all your friends, and do check the video description where you will get all the links for the handbooks. You can visit our website, and for some of the amazing video courses, you can download our Android mobile app, that is KSJ Teaching. Okay, so now we have covered a few budgets, right? In the last lecture, we covered about the material budget also, and we covered about the plant utilization budget also. Now, in this lecture, we are going to cover the first budget that we are going to cover is direct labor cost budget. Direct labor cost budget. Right? Now, remember when we started with the cost accounting, we say that there are three major elements. There are three major elements to the cost, right? Material, labor, and overheads. So we have discussed about that whenever you want to do the manufacturing, you want to manufacture some product. For that, first you decide what is the quantity that you want to sell, right? You prepare sale budget. Then according to the sales, you decide that how much of the quantity is to be produced, right? You prepare production budget. You prepare production budget for this. Now, on the basis of this production budget, in the last lecture, we discussed that we have decided that how much of the material is required. And on the basis of that, we say direct material purchase budget, how much of the material is to be purchased. First, we identify the usage of the material, how much of the material will be used as per the production budget. Then, how much of the material is to be purchased, because it is not necessary that usage and purchases will be same, because there might be some opening stock that is lying, and what is the closing stock that you want to keep, it is dependent upon that purchases. Okay. Now, for the same production that we have decided through the production budget, now we need to decide the labor cost element. Obviously, without labor, you cannot do the manufacturing, because 100% mechanical work is not there. That 100% you are doing the work on the machines, no labor, that is not possible, right? Some element of the labor will be required. So you need to decide the number of hours of labor required, right? Number of labor hours, and the rate at which you will be paying, right? Labor hours multiplied by rate will give you the amount of labor cost. Amount of labor cost, isn't it? This is what you will get. So labor cost budget basically tries to identify that if you want to manufacture something, you have decided the number of units to be manufactured in the production budget. On the basis of that, we try to identify that how many labor hours will be required, at what rate we are going to pay to our labor, right? Now, some of the important decisions which are required in this is what kind of a labor is required, right? One is type of labor required. Type of labor means whether you required skilled labor, whether you require more of skilled labor, or whether you require more of unskilled labor, right? So these kind of questions you need to answer in this labor budget, because accordingly the budget will be prepared. The skilled labor will ask for a separate rate, unskilled labor will be paid at a separate rate. Skilled labor obviously will be paid at a higher rate, unskilled labor will be paid at a lower rate comparatively, right? So you need to decide upon the type of labor. Then according to your manufacturing process, you can decide when your labor is required, when required. If you want to do the bulk of your manufacturing in quarter one, that means more of the labor will be required in the quarter one, right? Or quarter two, right? In which of the department it is more of the required. Say there are three departments. One department is more of dependent upon the machines. There the labor requirement will be less. The other two departments are labor intensive. There the requirement of the labor will be more than the first department. So all these things need to be considered when we are preparing the labor cost budget, direct labor cost budget. Right? Understood the very basic simple things. We have already studied about labor costing, right? In the second chapter, we have already studied about labor costing. So it is just about that we need to identify dependent upon the production budget, right? Dependent upon the number of units that we are going to produce, we have to identify the number of hours, rate at which we are going to pay, and what will be the total amount of the labor cost. The budgets are prepared on the basis of past year data for the future. Right, this is what we are going to do, the future planning, that this might be our labor cost. Accordingly, we have to keep our funds ready, isn't it? The actuals might vary, sir. That is why in the overheads chapter we study under and over absorption, isn't it? Okay, so let's see the format quickly. So this is about the direct labor cost budget. In the department P, say you are manufacturing two products, product A and product B. For product A, how many hours are required? Labor hours are required. For product B, how many labor hours are required? What is the rate that you are paying for product A and product B, and what is the total amount? Simple. Similarly, in the department Q, you might be producing two products A and B, then number of labor hours, then rate and amount. So total number of hours and the total amount. Clear? So this is about the direct labor cost budget. Simple. Not that difficult, sir. Let's do a practical problem on this. Question number 6. A factory works 8 hours per day, 6 days in a week. Right? 6 days in a week and per day 8 hours, and the budget period is 1 year, and during each quarter, the lost hours due to the leave, holidays and other causes are estimated to be 124 hours, right? So this loss is during the quarter. Be careful what the question is saying. The budget period is 1 year, right? Here it is say 8 hours per day multiplied by 6 days in a week, right? And 124 hours are lost. This 124 hours is per quarter, right? After that, product A, product B. Direct labor per unit in department P at the rate 1, 2 hours are required and 1 hour for product B is required. In Q department, rupees 3 is the rate and 1 hour and 2 hours are required. The units to be produced as per the production budget is 10,000 and 4,000. Prepare the manpower budget showing the direct labor hours and the number of workers, right? Manpower budget showing the labor cost. Now, in this labor budget, we also try to identify the number of workers required. Number of workers required. Right? Based on the labor hours, obviously. Right? Based on the labor hours. So let's see. What is asking is manpower budget showing the direct labor hours. How many total labor hours are required dependent upon this production that we have planned for, and the number of workers that are required. Okay, so first we will try to identify what is the total budgeted working hours. Budgeted working hours dependent upon this information. What is the total hours available basically, right? Let's do it. Question number 6. So first thing we try to identify is total budgeted working hours. Total budgeted working hours. Sir, why these total budgeted working hours are required, you will get to know in some time, right? So they say 8 hours in a week, right? And in a week, 6 days. So this is about 1 week, number of hours in 1 week multiplied by 52 weeks. This is hours per day, right? This is days in a week. This is number of weeks in a year, right? So this is one thing. This is the total number of hours that you have got in 1 year. 52 weeks, 1 year. Minus lost hours, 124 hours per quarter. So you will multiply it with 4, right? This is quarter, number of quarters. 124 hours is per quarter. So multiplied by 4 gives you number of quarters. Right? So this comes out to 2000 hours. Right? This is the total budgeted working hours available. Now let's try to find out the manpower budget, right? Total labor hours required. So we'll say manpower budget. Now it is to be prepared for two departments, right? One is department P, and the other one is department Q, right? Department P and department Q. So first we'll say hours required for product A, hours required for product A. Now for product A, for manufacturing 1 unit of product A in the department P, how many hours are required? 2 hours. And how many units you want to manufacture? 10,000, right? So it will be 10,000 multiplied by 2. So it is 20,000. Right? Similarly, we'll take it for product B also. In the for product B in department P, 1 hour, how many units? 4,000. So I will say 4,000 here. Now for department Q, for product A, 1 hour is required for 1 unit. So for 10,000 units, 10,000 hours will be required, right? So I'll say 10,000 hours. Department Q and B, again 2 hours here. So for 4,000 units, it is going to be 8,000, right? So what is the total requirement of the hours? Total hours required to manufacture these products is 24,000 and 18,000 in the two departments respectively, right? Total hours, total budgeted hours required, right? Total budgeted hours required in the two departments, department P and department Q, 24,000 and 18,000. Clear? Because how we have got it from this information, sir. For 1 unit it is given. So for the number of units that you want to manufacture as per the production budget, we have decided upon that. Clear? After that, he says, you should tell me the number of workers. Number of workers that should be working. Right? This is the number of hours that we require to work to manufacture 10,000 units. In the department for A, it is 10,000 units and for B it is 4,000 units, right? Now this is the number of hours required in department P and this is the number of hours required in department Q, right? But there is a limitation, sir. Limitation, what is the limitation? That hours, total hours during the budget, total hours during budget period is available is 2,000 hours and 2,000 hours, right? That means if one worker is working, he can work for only 2,000 hours. But how many hours are required? We require 24,000 hours. We require 24,000 hours. One worker can work for only 2,000 hours in the whole period. That means we will have to employ multiple workers, right? So here we will get number of workers required. Number of workers required. That is 24,000 divided by 2,000, right? So you will get here 12. That is 24,000 divided by 2,000. Now 12 workers will work for 2,000 hours each. That means total 24,000 hours. Here 18,000 divided by 2,000 will give you 9 workers, right? This is how the workers requirement will be calculated. First we calculated the total number of hours required to manufacture these many goods. In the department P 24,000 and in department Q 18,000. But we say that one worker can work for only 2,000 hours in the whole year, right? That is a limitation. Now, according to that, we try to calculate what is the number of workers that we will require to cover 24,000 hours, because obviously we cannot stop the manufacturing. So we will require 12 workers. Each worker will work for 2,000 hours, right? Combined total of 12 workers will be 24,000 hours, and that is what the requirement is in department number P, right? For both the products A and B. Similarly, for department Q, There are 9 workers. There are going to be 9 workers. Each worker will work for 2000 hours in a year as per the information given. That is why we calculated this 2000 first. That is why this total budgeted working hours were calculated, right? This is per worker. Right? This is per worker. That one worker can work for 2000 hours. So 9 worker, if work for 2000 hours each, total 18,000 hours they will work for. Clear? Any doubts? Now we are going to calculate in terms of cost, right? Labor cost budget. Now I'll say labor cost budget, right? So again, department P and department Q. So in department P and department Q, first we will see the number of hours required, the rate at which the workers are being paid, and the amount, right? Similarly, in department Q, we'll see the hours, the rate per hour at which they are being paid, and the amount, right? For the two products, obviously, for the two products. Now, for the product A, right, what is the number of hours in department P? For product A, what is the total number of hours A and P, right? 20,000, right? And similarly, we'll take it for product B. Here, 20,000 hours, right? And here, 4,000 hours. Here, 10,000 and 8,000. Now, what is the rate at which they are being paid? See the rate. In department P, rupees 1, and in department Q, it is rupee 3. So, here it is rupee 1, here it is rupees 3, right? So what is the amount? 20,000 and 4,000, right? So total amount is 24,000. And here it is 30,000 and 24,000. So the total amount is 54,000. So this is the labor cost in the respective departments, department P and department Q. Clear? So this is about the direct labor cost budget. This is how the question is to be done. I hope it is clear. Right, sir? So this is about the direct labor cost budget, that we try to identify the number of workers required, total number of hours that are required, right? And multiplied by rate will give you the labor cost. Okay, moving on to the next one. This was about the labor cost budget. The next one is factory overheads cost budget. Factory overheads budget. Factory overheads budget. So again we say, for the number of units you want to manufacture, obviously there will be some factory overheads to be incurred, right? What are overheads? What are the overheads, sir? Overheads are all your indirect expenses. All your indirect expenses are the overheads, right? Now this indirect expenses can be on material also, right? This can be on labor also, and this can be other expenses also, right? All these are known as overheads. So factory overheads is a part of it. Now when we talk about overheads, we say we divide the overheads into broadly 3 parts. One is factory overheads, right? We have already studied in the chapter of overheads. Then we divide it into, second is admin overheads, then it is selling and distribution overheads. Selling and distribution overheads, right? Factory, admin, and selling and distribution overheads. So factory overheads, when we talk about this factory overheads, we say all the expenses which are related to the manufacturing process, right? Which are being, all the overheads that are being incurred in the factory premises, in the plant premises where the manufacturing is taking place. So we categorize them as factory overheads. So in this budget, we are specifically talking about the factory overheads. Now, when we are going to prepare this budget, it is very simple, right? We say this is the format. That's it. We need to identify that what will be the total factory overheads, and the total factory overheads are divided into 3 categories. One is the variable cost, right? Other is semi-variable cost, and the third one is fixed cost, and we have already studied about them, right? Related to the factory premises, what can be the variable cost? Spoilage, indirect material, printing stationery, postage, telegram, right? Then semi-variable, repairs and maintenance, light, power, heat, water, telephone, fixed cost, wages, salary, rent, rates, taxes, insurance, depreciation. Some of it might be the administration cost, and some of it which is related to the manufacturing process, like the insurance. If we talk about the insurance of the machinery, right, that is a factory overhead. If insurance of the office building, it is administration and overheads, right? Office and administration overheads. Depreciation of the furniture, plant and machinery is factory overheads, right? If it is related to the manufacturing process, then it is factory overheads. Otherwise, it can be office and administration overheads also, right? So simple, very simple budget, just divide it into three parts, or how to calculate what is going to be the fixed cost, what is going to be the variable cost. Let's see a practical problem on this. Question number 7. Factory overheads are applied on the basis of the direct labor hours, right? Applied means absorbed. Applied here means the absorbed, that factory overheads are being absorbed on the basis of the direct labor hours. So total factory overheads in the department P and department Q are given. Variable overheads per labor hour is given 0.5 and 1.5. Direct labor hours required as per the direct labor hours budget. For product A 20,000 and for product B 4,000, here 10,000 and 8,000, right? Now, what is the problem here is that, sir, these factory overheads, these variable overheads are given per hour. That is not an issue, right? What about this factory overhead? This 48,000, this is given for total factory overheads. Now we need to absorb it into product A and product B, right? We need to absorb this 48,000. Now this 48,000 is for the department P. It is not specifically given that how much is for product A and how much for product B, right? We need to find out that out of 48,000, what is the value that is attributable to that we have to absorb in the product A, and what is the amount that we have to absorb in the product number B, right? For that, what you calculate is absorption rate. Absorption rate means overheads divided by the direct labor hours. What is the labor hours in department P? 20,000 plus 4,000. Total labor hours is 24,000. So on these labor hours, you will calculate the absorption rate, here 18,000, right? And using that absorption rate, you will find out that how much of the 48,000 is attributable to product A and how much of it is attributable to product number B. Let's see. So department P and department Q, total fixed overheads 48,000 and 18,000. Budgeted hours, it is 20,000 in that particular department, right? 4,000, here 10,000 plus 8,000, right? So fixed overhead rate per hour 2 rupees, that is 48,000 divided by 24,000, and here it is 18,000 divided by 18,000, right? 1 rupee. Variable overhead rate per hour 0.5 and 1.5. Total overhead rate means combine fixed plus variable, right? It is 2 plus 0.5 and it is 1 plus 1.5, total 2.5. Clear? Now we are going to divide this 48,000 in the product A and product B. In the department P, product A, product P, right? So this is continuous. Budgeted hours 20,000 and 4,000 as given in the question. See, 20,000 and 4,000 in department P for product A and product B. The budgeted fixed overheads. Now fixed overhead rate is rupees 2 per hour. So for 20,000, right? 20,000 multiplied by 2, right? And here you will say 4,000 multiplied by 2. What about the variable overhead, sir? Variable overheads is given 0.5 per hour. So for 20,000 hours, 20,000 multiplied by 0.5, and here 4,000 multiplied by 0.5, that is given to you in the department P, right? Total budgeted overheads 50,000 and 10,000. Total is 60,000, right? Similarly, in department Q, when we talk about product A, budgeted hours is given, fixed overheads multiplied by 1 here, not 2, because in department Q the rate is 1, right? So 1 here and 1.5 for the variable overheads. Be careful that in department P it is 2 rupees, the absorption rate, and in department Q it is 1 rupee. So do it accordingly. Sometimes in the exam we are in a hurry. What we do? 2 here multiplied by 2 here. Sir, question solve and get a 0. So be very careful about the absorption rates, right? So this is about the fixed overheads cost budget. Right? Very simple, sir. That's why I told you that whatever you have studied so far, it is going to be applied here, right? Now, one or two budgets we are going, this is all about the factory overheads budget. One or two budgets we are going to quickly go through because nothing much to be done in those budgets, right? One is production cost budget. Production cost budget, right? Now, what is this production cost budget, sir? The production cost budget says that you have decided the number of units to be produced. What is the cost that is going to be incurred in manufacturing, right? Cost to be incurred in manufacturing, the number of units that are decided in production budget, right? So there is a difference between production budget and the production cost budget. In production budget, we decide the number of units to be manufactured, the number of units to be produced. In the production cost budget, we say that what is the total cost to be incurred on those number of units which are decided in the production budget, right? So do not confuse between the production budget and the production cost budget. There is a difference between the two, and this production cost budget is normally asked along with the production budget. In some of the questions you will see that you are required to calculate the production cost budget along with the production budget, right? So it is not at all difficult. What is production cost, sir? What is production cost? You have studied about the cost sheet. You have studied the cost sheet. In the cost sheet, we have studied the cost of production, isn't it? Sir, direct material plus direct labor plus direct expenses, prime cost plus factory overheads, then adjustment of WIP. What you get? Cost of manufacturing or cost of production. Remember the cost sheet, isn't it? That's what we say. Direct material plus direct labor plus direct expenses. Let's see. Production cost budget, direct material consumed plus direct labor plus direct expenses will give you prime cost plus production overheads, or we call it as factory overheads, right? Factory overheads, you get production cost. In this, if there is WIP, then you will adjust WIP also. If the WIP is there, if the opening and closing inventory of WIP is there, you will adjust WIP also in this case. Then you will get the production cost, that is the cost of producing the good, right? This is what we have done in the cost sheet, sir. Simple. So production cost budget is simple. That's all about this production cost budget. Then another budget is ending inventory budget. Quickly we'll see through because these are not very important budget. This ending inventory budget is not that very important, I'll say, right? Ending inventory budget. Now, what is this ending inventory budget? He says we need to find out the closing inventories for a period. Closing inventory for a period, right? Now, this period can be this period is dependent upon what we are taking, like it can be a year, or it can be for a particular quarter, right? Or it can be half yearly, whatever the period that you are following. We need to find out that at the end of the period, what is the inventory that we are planning to keep, right? What is the inventory that we are planning to keep at the end of the period? Now, when we talk about this inventory at the end of the period will be for three things. One is raw material inventory. We have three types of inventory. One is raw material inventory. Another one will be WIP inventory. Then will be finished goods, right? Finished goods inventory, right? No specific format for this. Basically, it will depend upon the information, right? That in the first quarter, this raw material, this much of the quantity, this much is the rate, this much is the amount, right? So we can take here what is the quantity, right? Quantity, and what is the rate at which it is lying. We have already discussed about LIFO-FIFO method, remember, material costing. Then the amount, the closing inventory. There we studied about the closing inventory, that how the value of the closing inventory is to be calculated when we discussed about the first in first out method, last in first out method, and the weighted average method. So this is all about the ending inventory budget, that how the ending inventory, the last inventory for the period, what we are planning to keep. Now the inventory can be for the raw material also, for the WIP also, and for the finished goods also. Obviously three major inventories are going on. The raw material that is lying in the store, WIP that is in the process, right, and finished goods that is lying in the godown. So these inventories are to be managed. What is the quantity of that inventory, what is the rate, and what is the amount for that inventory. This is ending inventory budget, right? So for the rest of the budgets, we'll continue in the next lecture, right? Now we are left with one cost of goods sold budget. That is a good one. That is again very easy. Then some of the budgets are very easy, like administrative cost, simple sir. Selling and distribution cost, simple sir. Then we'll talk about one complete budget, that is income statement. One cash budget is also there. Cash budget is also simple, nothing much to worry about it, right? Cost of goods sold budget we are going to discuss. Cash budget we are going to discuss in the next lecture. Then we will discuss about one complete question where the complete income statement is to be prepared, right? So see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, keep sharing, keep studying. Thank you so much.